I'm already doing a follow-up video on my last video that I just posted on the do not play list. I got a lot of really good feedback from comments in places that I posted this video, and they're really good, valid comments. In my last video, you can have a look at it. I've got a link to it in the description of this video. I'm against asking the blanket question, do not play. Because I feel like when you do that, you're baiting the client into making a list of songs. Just randomly putting songs down. If you ask a question, people answer it. It's just human nature, especially when people are trying to plan an event. If you don't ask the question, it's been my experience that they will usually just tell you if there's something they're very against. Like perhaps line dances, for instance. Some people say the chicken dance. I mean, when was the last time you played a chicken dance at a wedding unless somebody specifically asked for it? I haven't played the chicken dance in years. Maybe there are DJs out there that do it by default. I'm not that dude. What I found is, and I mentioned this in the last video, when I solicit the question, hey, what are your do not plays? Sometimes the list can get very long and extensive to the point where I'm spending more time making sure that I don't make any programming mistakes from the do not play list. I'm looking at that more than I'm looking at the actual request list itself. It wasn't important enough for them to tell me about these do not plays until I asked them the question. Then they came up with stuff. So, the argument that a lot of people have, and I'm with you on this. Some people say, so what you're saying is that you're going to play songs from their last relationship or their last wedding, and that's okay? No, that's totally not okay. You don't want to play songs that are going to bring back any kind of bad memories for your client. Maybe it's a second marriage, and maybe her first husband was really into Aerosmith, and there was a lot of Aerosmith at their last wedding. Well, she doesn't want any Aerosmith. Well, of course. But when you ask the blanket question of do not plays, those are the kind of things that may not even be on their mind. They may just be thinking about, I've heard Love Shack too much. I don't want to hear that. And here are 75 other songs that I hear at every wedding, and I want my wedding to be different, so here's the list. Wouldn't have given you this list unless you asked them and baited them for that list. If you really want to know if there's anything that's going to bring back a bad memory, valid do not plays, I like to ask that question in the meeting itself and give these folks some guidance on the do not play list. Like I said, they're already going to tell you if they don't want line dances, or they don't want Taylor Swift, or they don't want Bruno Mars, or whatever the case might be. They'll just tell you that if it's that important to them. But they may not be thinking about songs from their last relationship or their last wedding or just anything that brings back a bad memory. So I feel like as DJs, professionals, it's a good idea to ask the specific question, preferably in a client meeting. Hey, is there anything that I should avoid playing that may bring back a bad memory? Some guidance on this do not play list, I think, is key and a great idea to get those songs. But to just ask the blanket question, do not play, may not even address some of the stuff that's really important, like those bad memory songs. So, a little, I guess, amendment to the last video, because again, great valid points from so many of you, and I agree, and I try to do this in client meetings. Like this event that I have coming up this Saturday, I didn't even ask the question, are there any do not plays? Because it's the 50th wedding anniversary, and they were very excited about hearing songs, and they gave me a request list. I've got this one for dinner, and then I have this one for dancing, and the crazy part is this is only a 4-hour event, and a lot of it's going to be eaten up by dinner. So I've got a lot of music to work with, and as a DJ and a programmer, I can work around these songs. If I know that they like Calvin Harris, I'm going to assume they like David Guetta too. If they tell me that they like Elvis, I know they like 50s music and 60s music. That's what I do as a programmer. But if I had to worry about a do not playlist that I solicited them to make without any guidance, it might take my attention away from this. Just try not to make any mistakes. So anyway, that's my argument against the blanket question of do not plays. Usually they come up in a form that somebody has. Don't ask the question there, but I will ask it in a client meeting, and I will get the answers that I'm looking for by asking specific questions. And again, they're going to tell you, usually, if they don't want line dances, without you even asking, what don't you want to hear? Good points, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this video made sense. So anyway, more videos to come. I'm actually in the middle of gig prep, and I'm wasting time doing videos for some reason. I've almost got this, but I've got some videos I want to do later on today on the gig I'm doing and some of the equipment choices I'm making. Taking a big leap of faith on some of this stuff, and I'll share it with you in probably the next video. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you so much. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.